serve as the Dean of Women at Christ College. I'm also a member of the Women's Ministry Committee. The committee is an initiative of the Presbyterian Church of New South Wales, and it was set up to support and promote women's ministry on a complementarian basis. This year, the committee has appointed Anna Moss to the position of Women's Ministry Facilitator, and it's my pleasure to introduce Anna to you today. Now, Anna, before we get to hearing a bit more about your ministry experience and your role, how about you tell us a bit about your family?
Sure. So I'm married to Clayton, and Clayton works as a school chaplain at a girls' high school. And I have 3 fairly loud but pretty fun kids. We have a 13-year-old, a 10-year-old, and someone who's just turned 6 in kindy. So we've got a bit of an age range, but they're lots of fun.
I bet they are. Now, it would be really good to hear about your ministry experience. I think you've been both a member of a congregation and also in a paid role. So can you tell us what have you been up to in the last 10 years?
Sure. So yeah, my family and I, this is actually before my children were born, we started going to Drummoyne Presbyterian about 14 years ago, and I was a member of that church for about 4 years. And then I became, after about 4 years, I became the women's ministry worker at that church. I worked there for 3 days a week. I did that for the last 10 years, which, was a great privilege, and there were also some challenges as well, but learnt a lot. It's a great privilege to work amongst women there. I've also recently, I started last year, done some work doing clinical counselling with the family systems practice, and I've been tending to see a lot of people in ministry as well as Christians and working with them to think through life and work and relationships.
The Presbyterian Church is committed to seeing men and women working together in biblically appropriate roles, using the gifts that God has given them. And in the last 10 years, we've been blessed to see more and more women entering into theological education and also being set aside for specific ministry roles. It's been a real blessing, hasn't it? But it's also come with challenges, and that's where your role comes in, isn't it? So
yeah, that's right.
Can you tell us how does your role fit into supporting and promoting the work of women in ministry?
Sure. Yeah, so it is exciting to see that there are more positions opening up for women to serve in churches in recognised roles. And the thing is, it's happening fairly organically as the churches, ministers and sessions can really see the value of having women on ministry teams. So that's an exciting thing. But one of the challenges there is because it's happening fairly locally at the church level, often there's not really a centralised database or a system for us to actually know who those women are. And often they're not particularly well connected with others in the Presbyterian system. So in a sense, the first aim of my role is to work out who's actually out there, who the women are who are serving in ministry roles within their churches, to find out who they are so that we can aim to network them, resource them and support them in what they're doing so we can really see them flourish and thrive in their work.
And so what have you discovered?
Well, it really has been a privilege and a pleasure to speak with these women. And as I've met with a number of them, it's been really lovely, I guess, to see the variety of work that women are doing. I've been really encouraged by how positive the women are and how, in a sense, how healthy in a lot of ways the teams that they're working in are. And I guess I've just discovered that the women are quite hungry and keen to get to know other women. They're keen to be better networked. They're keen to be able to speak to people outside of their churches so they can work out how to do that better. Yeah, and it's been really encouraging to hear how committed the women are to really wanting to grow in their work, to get training and to be resourced so that they can actually do their work well and really honour and serve Jesus in their work.
It's wonderful to hear. I'm looking forward to, seeing this wonderful new database that eventually we'll be able to look at and see how many women are actually working in our churches and being set aside.
Yeah,
it'll be fantastic to see.
It's very exciting. I think what's great about it too is then we can then resource those women and invite them along to training events. There's some excellent resources out there, and I guess in a sense helping those women to be aware of what they can connect into, I think will be a really positive thing.
Finding ways to support them, network them, keep them engaged and to train them and give them professional development. So what thoughts have you got on that challenge and how you're going to face that challenge?
So I think that is one of the challenges that women face. They don't necessarily at the moment have maybe some of the same access to pathways that their male colleagues have. So established forums like presbyteries and the assembly, they're not as well represented by women. And so I guess one of our aims is to try to create really helpful and useful networking opportunities for some of these women. And with the aim of that is so they can get to know who they are, to find out who else is out there working in similar roles, that we could equip them and resource them, and in a sense just be a really good support, and I guess in a whole bunch of ways, I guess relationally, spiritually, and providing training as well. So I guess there's a whole range of aims, I guess, in that networking that we want to do.
And whilst it's our aim that the women specifically benefit from the work that you'll be doing with them, of course we need to be actually much more long-sighted, don't we? That the benefit is not only to these women, is it?
No.
Who else benefits, do you think?
So I think that's one of the exciting things, and I think when we talk about women's ministry, I think it really is helpful to be able to see that when we support and encourage women to serve in healthy and God-honouring ways, we're actually not just helping women, but we're actually really helping and supporting the people that they're working with. We're helping their ministry teams, we're helping those that they minister to, we're helping whole congregations and whole churches. So I think it's really exciting that it's not just about soloing off women and men, but it's about a work to really see our whole church flourish and grow.
It's wonderful. Now, professional development is an important topic. Some of these women have got theological training but might want to pursue more theological training. Some have never done any theological training, and it would be wonderful to see them participate and get more theological training. What's your thinking on that?
I mean, so that's why it's actually wonderful to be working with you, Carmelina, as the Dean of Women. And I guess I see that's a way that we can work together, and using the resource of Christ College. It'd be great to see more women get involved in the MTW course and be able to access some really good theological training, as well as, I guess, accessing other conferences that are out there and other training resources as well. So I think that's something I have noticed, that there are some of the women there who are keen to grow in what they're doing, keen to be better resourced and equipped, but at times have found it hard to access that. So again, I think it's about getting the information out there and making that kind of training accessible to women who are regional as well as women who are based in Sydney.
The MTW course that Anna's referred to is the Ministry Training for Women course that Christ College offers. And of course the college also offers the bachelor degree, the Masters of Divinity, a whole heap of part-time study, and even evening lectures. So it'd be wonderful to see women tapped into those courses and how Christ College can actually participate with you in this new role. Now, Anna, it seems to me that New South Wales is quite a big state.
Absolutely.
And at the moment, you're working 2 days a week. You've just upped your hours from 1 to 2.
That's right.
But this is a lot of work to cover in 2 days a week. Can you tell us what's the plan there?
Yeah, I mean, it is a challenge, and I guess what I've basically been doing is getting out there, working out who the women are, meeting them, finding out what their needs are, and really from that trying to work out what are some practical, helpful strategies that we can put in place. So I'm keen to try to really do things that are going to be relevant and useful, want to use our time well, but I am aware of the fact that it's a very big scope we've got across New South Wales and the ACT, and so 2 days, it is challenging, and in some ways it can feel like we're just going to scratch the surface of the good work that could be done.
So the idea is that we want to up your hours to 3 days a week, but in order to do that, we need funds. Anna's role is actually funded, and so we've got to try and find ways that people can actually donate towards employing you 3 days a week. So in one sense, if you've appreciated the wonderful initiative that the committee has taken with employing Anna, and you see the benefit not just to women but to growing healthy churches in our denomination, then we would encourage you to think seriously about your church or as an individual donating to Anna's role.
Yeah.
You can do that via the website, and there is a donate section, and you'll be able to find information there about how you can make sure that Anna is well resourced for this very important role. And of course the other thing is that you can also shoot us an email which you can access via the website if you have any more questions about Anna and her role. Well, it's a wonderful initiative. I'm looking forward to how God uses you this year and in the following year. And thanks for your time, Anna.
Yeah, thank you.